Hi everyone, Petra here from Hospitable. It's great to have you. With us is Nick. Nick is principal engineer at Hospitable, and we are here to tell you more about Buildathon that we had in the previous weeks. And we're going to be announcing the winners and telling you more about winning projects. So, Nick, I'm giving you things into your hands. So, let's hear more.
Thanks, Petra. So, a bit of a backdrop. On April 1st, we announced the Hospitable MCP, right? A way for AI agents to easily interact with the short-term rental data on your Hospitable account. So, an AI like Claude or ChatGPT can now read and make changes to your calendar, bookings, and pretty much any data that you can have on your account. So, we fundamentally believe that the data is yours to do with as you wish. A property management system should not be holding your data captive. So shortly after releasing the Hospitable MCP, we ran a 2-week buildathon, offering a challenge with prizes to hosts in our community to inspire others in the host community with things that are possible to build using AI. So we had 29 submissions. They genuinely surprised us, both in volume, in polish, and how far, honestly, hosts have pushed the MCP in just 2 weeks after release. We saw stuff from clever automations of kind of the daily grind to full, almost like operating systems that hosts can run in their portfolios. And every one of them really taught us something about like what hosts actually need from both their data and a system like this. So when deciding the winners, we were looking at several different things. Is this helping a small host kind of effortlessly perform like a professional property management company? Does it put money in the host's pocket right away? How far is this pushing the boundaries of what's possible? Stuff like that. Submissions didn't need to check every box, but that's what we were on the lookout for. And so here are our winners of this MCP Buildathon. In third place, Joel Verinder. Joel connected Claude to Hospitable and rebuilt his guest rebooking outreach across 15 properties. The system pulls last year's guests by month, checks live calendar availability in the future, filters out bad stays that don't meet his criteria, and writes a personal note for every single one, referencing the actual reviews and the message thread from that trip. So, stuff like the honeymoon, the kids in the pool, and even the bear outside the cabin, for real. So 4 hours of what was previously manual work done in about 30 minutes in a single Claude AI session. This is something that hosts can do themselves today, basically. Amazing. Next, second place, Christopher Tarantino. Christopher built a dashboard in Claude that focuses on not kind of the normal KPIs that you would think about when it comes to dashboards, but recoverable damage, and found over $5,000 in unclaimed margin, basically sitting around across 6 properties. Work that most hosts would skip because like a single claim sometimes feels not worth it. It's not worth the hassle, right? In isolation. But in aggregate, it paints a completely different picture. So that shift from transaction to margin is what really changes operator behavior. So Christopher's damage dashboard in number 2. And in first place, Gus Dominguez. Gus took the Hospitable MCP further than anyone. He built a Game of Thrones themed command dashboard in Claude where Tyrion tracks his money, Arya drafts his guest messages, and Varys hunts co-host leads in the suburbs. He has 5 AI agents on a single Mac Mini, live Hospitable data through the Hospitable MCP, and 3 end-of-month projections, as well as average daily rate trophy, basically, that gamifies the year. So for 2026, his record was $349 a night, and this month is a little short of that. And he has until April 30th, so one day after this recording. This is by far the most creative submission that we got. And it really is a glimpse of what the MCP looks like when somebody really runs with it. So Gus, well done. This was amazing. We all love this one. It was honestly pretty hard to decide the final 3. We had a lot of great submissions, honestly. And I do want to give out a few more shout outs. So first, Sandy, who didn't find what she needed in Hospitable's built-in metrics. So she built her own pacing study on top of the MCP. comparing 2026 against the same point in time in 2025 across revenue, occupancy, bookings, and a stack of other KPIs. This was about like an hour of spreadsheet work, but done in just basically a 2-minute conversation in Claude. And a second shout out to Jonathan, who used Hospitable MCP and Claude to find the single night stranded between back-to-back bookings across his 4 properties and automatically send late checkout and early check-in offers at 40% off, turning what was a maybe 10-15 minute weekly chore into just 60 seconds. It's a scan that AI does, prepares the messages for him, and he sends them, and he can get additional revenue from the existing guests. Really cool. So those are the winners, and then a few shout outs. We will have a dedicated MCP library with prompts and examples that you can reuse coming soon in the community, along with a dedicated group, MCP group in the community as well, where you and other hosts can share ideas, discuss, and basically see how far you can push MCP in your business. And the last thing I want to mention is that we do have one more session coming up dedicated to MCP. It's the third in a 3-part series that we've done 2 of already. And the third one will be focusing really on more complex workflows and apps even that you can set up using AI and Hospitable's MCP. And this is 3 weeks from this recording, so May 19th. Tune into that if you're interested in MCP. And especially if you've tuned into the last 2 sessions, where the first one was really an intro. Second one, we looked at specific prompts and how you can use them. Third one, we'll go even deeper on much more complex examples. Hopefully see you soon. Once again, congrats to the 3 winners, and thank you to everyone who participated. This was amazing.